Hi Elvis fans, so this is another interesting interview from Larry King, and he looks into Elvis's world and asks some great questions. Elvis basically lived in a goldfish bowl and surrounded himself with only people that he trusted. Let's hear what he has to say.
EWorld, because when you stepped into EWorld with Elvis Presley, everything changed. It was a completely different way of looking at life.
So we all know this, but Elvis had created his own world of friends, family, and places that he frequented, and how he expected people to behave around him. He was very much the boss. Things were going to go his way, and the people that were close to him knew what the score was.
Couldn't lead a life of solitude.
Well, he could when he'd go up to his room.
It's well known that Elvis's bedroom at Graceland was a very private place and it was invite only. Other than that, he loved being with people.
He could get up in his room.
Yeah, but I mean, he couldn't just be with one person and go out to dinner.
He just didn't want to be alone. He didn't want to do the things that most everyday people did with other people. He liked his entourage around him. He obviously had a lot of staff and the Memphis Mafia, people that he had grown up with right from his school days. When they were around him, Elvis could be himself, he could be comfortable. If he misbehaved, everyone gathered around to try and sort things out and cover up for him. So he was the king of his castle.
No, he didn't like that. You know, people have said to me over the years, Ricky, if he could have gotten out around people, how much happier he would have been. And well, that's not the case, because if you're a big deal and you go out in public and people don't make a big deal, you're not that big a deal. So he enjoyed people getting excited about him coming around.
I very much agree with this. Elvis loved being famous. He wanted to be the top dog. And when his fame started slipping on and off through the decades, it really did bother him. So the attention he got, he absolutely lapped it up.
He had the guys there because he could really be himself.
I agree with that again. Yes, when the Memphis Mafia and his close family and his favorite staff were around him, he could just chill, be himself, feel protected. The people around him would sort out any small problems that were happening, and he could just carry on being Elvis Presley, the superstar.
He could really let down, and if he would throw a temper tantrum, it wouldn't go anywhere. We loved him, mistakes and all. We would cover for him. We would do anything for the man. So it was like it was a close-knit family.
I completely agree again. They were very close. It was like a close-knit family. They were very loyal. They would do anything for him, and he loved how that felt. Now, I know as the years went on, the loyalty wasn't as great, and there's some serious issues about the book and books that were written about Elvis. Obviously, there was the really important one that the Memphis Mafia did together, which blew him away and completely upset him. But he even spoke to Red West about it, and still was a good friend to Red West right till the end. That's another story.
David, did he have that need for people?
Yeah, I think Elvis needed people around him. He didn't like to be alone, like Ricky says. He just, you know, I mean, Elvis was very picky about the people around him. And
he says Elvis was very picky with the people who he had around him. He needed to feel that the trust was there and that he could feel comfortable around them. So wouldn't you absolutely have loved to be part of his entourage, part of his secret group that was around him daily, and live that life that he had with Elvis Presley? Wouldn't you absolutely love that? Please comment.
He liked to have a good time, and I think for Elvis it was very much of a trust factor.
It's pretty obvious Elvis loved to have a great time, loved to party, just loved to enjoy himself. Whether it be renting out cinemas or fairgrounds, he wanted fun in his own little world, the EWorld.
You know, the only person he really trusted was his mother there early in his career. And when he lost her, all he had was the other guys around him. I mean, you know, Joe and Lamar and Red and Sonny, those guys were around for a long time, long before we came along. And, you know, they developed a trust toward one another. And working for Elvis as we traveled and spent time with him, you could see that loyalty was the most important thing, and trust was key.
And as he says at the end, trust is king. Trust is what got you next to Elvis Presley. Trust is what gave you those great memories and the family time and the friendships that you could all spend together in those years. Thanks a lot.